Hey, what's up, everyone? Back for this Wednesday slate. We have an awesome 12 gamer to break down. Excited for this slate after that one gamer yesterday. But Monday was a great day. If you watched the videos on Monday, especially the early slate, had Dylan Brooks, 7% owned, put up 50. Fournier put up 40. Chris Paul went nuts as well. We took down like all the double ups, top three in those, and then even some tournaments we had like top five finishes. If you follow me on Twitter, I posted some of the scores. Had a 330 on that, and then the main slate, Lillard, Whiteside, they all went ham, but they were also very popular. But let's get into this slate. You can drop a like down below, subscribe if you haven't already. You can join us by visiting the website, dfsprocess.net, and let's get right into it. So starting off here at point guard. Also, let's try to get 200 likes on the video. That would be dope. Starting off here at point guard, we have Harden. Tough matchup against the Nuggets here. The Nuggets, they're also really banged up right now, so it's not as tough of a matchup defensively, but they're going to start Craig, and they're going to put Craig on Harden. It's just going to be kind of a slower pace game just because the Nuggets play slow, but it's at home in Houston. I don't mind paying up for Harden, but I probably won't get there. I don't mind Westbrook. He's actually been playing better than Harden as of late, and I think this could be a spot where you just pay up for Westbrook just because he's been a lot more efficient, just because he's been shooting a lot more. He hasn't really shot any three-pointers the last two games, only one total. So he's been really shooting his shots at a high percentage at the rim, getting to the rack, and with the Nuggets putting a lot of pressure on Harden with probably Craig, I think Westbrook could have a good game. But I'm liking some Trae Young here, 9,500. He's at a good price point. Price tag didn't move. He should be over 10,000 here. The Clippers on a back-to-back. We've seen them do some crazy things on back-to-backs this year. Don't think Kawhi's going to play in this back-to-back. I mean, coming off of a game against the Mavs, doubt he's going to play against the Hawks. He hasn't played in back-to-backs all year. And then Paul George, we don't know his status, but if he's out, then there's just so much value for this team, and defensively, it just becomes a lot easier matchup for Trae Young. Also, Patrick Beverley left the game, who I had in Showdown. Also had Powell on Draftkings, which sucks for him as he got that Achilles injury. But if there's no Beverley here, it's going to be nobody to really stop Trae Young if they're missing all those guys. It's just a completely different look, and Young at 95 should be able to feast. But it could also, like, if Paul George is in, he would be a nice play, but they didn't. I mean, he's not priced all the way down. He's priced up at 88, and will probably be on a limit, I would assume. Another guy that I like here at shooting guard, Lou Williams would be a play, but he's not priced down either. Like, they priced him up. Jaylen Brown is questionable. If he's out, then that would make Gordon Hayward pretty appealing. Kemba a little bit more appealing. Brooks, shout out Dylan Brooks for that game on Monday. I think if you pay down here at like 3,800 for a value shooting guard, there's not a ton that sticks out here. But I think speaking of all the injuries on the Clippers, I think Landry Shamet could be a nice value on a slate that we don't have a lot of value right now. He's going to play 30 minutes, especially with Beverly probably not going to play on a back-to-back. Kawhi is going to miss probably, and then George is up in the air. But he should see good minutes. He's not a great per-minute guy or anything, but if you give him minutes, he's going to run into things. It's going to ask for a better matchup against the Hawks. They are awful defensively, should get some wide-open looks, and you just chip in with a couple of peripherals, get some steals here. The Hawks turn the ball over at the highest rate in the league as well, so if you get like one or two steals, get some open looks, get the extra half a point on DraftKings for threes, I think he could be a pretty good value at just 3,800. A small forward here, I think LeBron is appealing just because he's playing the Knicks, and we know how bad they are. But this game could also get out of hand, especially coming off of that embarrassing loss against the Celtics. The Lakers are probably angry and gonna take their anger out on the Knicks. I love DeRozan, 82. It's just been playing so well. Another near triple-double game for DeRozan. If he gets that triple-double, 3 games where he could have had a triple-double easily, that would have been like well over 50, 55 fantasy points. It's another great matchup for him against the Pelicans. Can't ask for a better matchup, really, in terms of pace. I think Gallinari would be appealing, but he's priced up at 69. I'm not really interested there. I like him on Fanduel. I like Porter at 66, just with all the injuries. And then Hayward looks good, as well as Fournier at 57. Hayward, if Brown misses, if Brown's in, then you could just play Fournier, who's 450, 700. And for value here, there's not a ton at this position. Hopefully some will open up throughout the day, but Jeremy Lamb looks fine at 4,600 as a value play. And I will see some of these injuries on the Pelicans. Lots of questionable, probable players there, but Zion's going to probably play. That's going to really put a wrench in some of that rotation, especially if Favors is back too. There's just a lot of mouths to feed on the Pelicans now. But I think I'll probably go back to like Hayward right now. 58, it's a really good matchup, fast-paced against the Grizzlies. They play at a top 5 pace. It's at home in Boston. The Grizzlies have been playing better, so just a chance this game stays close, especially if Jaylen Brown misses. So, like Hayward's price a lot at 58. Power forward, I like DeAndre Ayton. Baines is out again, so we're going to see heavy minutes for Ayton again. He got up to 39 minutes. His price tag is up there, but he's going to get all the minutes he can handle at center, and the Pacers have given up some huge games to centers this year. Sabonis stands out a lot at 79. That's just too cheap for Sabonis. And then I like Aldridge at just 68. I like Porter, Bagley, 65. And I think Grant's okay at 56. Not the best. He's a much better play on Fanduel at like 4,200. And then he could look at like JaMychal Green if he's starting with all the injuries on the Clippers. Or all like if some of the players are out too, with like Beverly probably and Kawhi on a back-to-back. But I like Bagley here, 65 for him. He got all the minutes as center, basically 38 minutes. They didn't really give anybody else a run as center. He got 15 rebounds, should be getting a double-double if he's going to get those kind of minutes every night. And it seems like, there's a matchup here against the Pistons that they play big. Bagley is going to have his hands full with Drummond, but it's not like Drummond is like very aggressive. He's been kind of passive as of late. Bagley should be able to at least have a chance for a double-double in this matchup. Drummond doesn't move away from the basket, so I think he's going to be a good play just because he's a good per-minute guy, and if you give him 35 to 38 minutes, it's tough for him to crush you. I would say that I hope people jump off just with the price increase on him, but I think Bagley just going to get the minutes here. Rashawn Holmes is still out, so the minutes are up on him. The production should come with that, and it has been coming along. Over at center, it's Jokic, and also Drummond is questionable, so if he happens to sit, then it's Bagley becomes a really good play. But Jokic, 92 is great against the Rockets with all of the injuries on the Nuggets. And I like Vucevic at 83, Gobert at 85. I don't mind like Capella, but Sabonis stands out a lot at 7,900. Also, Siakam at just 69 looks appealing, and Aldridge at 68. And the Thunder are both of their centers are questionable, so if they're out, then we're going to see more minutes for Gallinari at the 4 and maybe some at the 5, but not really against the Magic. We're going to see Mike Muscala have to play a lot, and they don't really have a backup center if both of them are out. I would assume one of them plays and one of them's out, so we'll just have to wait and see. But right now, I think Sabonis is just a really good play. Just 79 is too cheap for him against the Suns. They're bad defensively, matched up against like Saric, should be able to crush there. Sometimes they play small at the 4. Can't really do that against this Pacers team, but if they do, then Sabonis should crush whoever his opponent is. And coming off a tough matchup against the Jazz, didn't expect him to have a success there, but we've seen him put up huge scores lately, and this could be another spot where he just crushes. And then at guard here, there's a cheap player that's too cheap, and that's Kyle Lowry, 6,600. I had to do a double take when I saw that. The minutes have been down. I don't really know why. I think it's because maybe Nick Nurse has just kind of built in some of these games as rest for his players, but none of the starters played 30 minutes against the Hawks. It's just some weird rotations. Same thing kind of with the Timberwolves. They're probably just waiting to give them the full run here. This is a huge game against the Sixers, and that was like their third game and 4 nights against the Hawks on the road again. Got the day off, back home. Don't see them not playing their starters like heavy minutes at home in front of the home crowd here. In a competitive game, it's important for the Eastern Conference as well. Kyle Lowry, no reason his price should just drop $1,400. He's like the healthiest. He's been in a while, and he's been playing well, even if since they're all healthy, but he's still going to get his heavy minutes. Early on, we've seen him getting like 39, 40 minutes, and they should continue to do that, and like especially in some of these important games against like the Eastern Conference opponents. So yeah, that's what I'm liking for Draftkings for Wednesday as of now. For Fanduel, it's pretty similar. At point guard, I like Trae Young. I like Westbrook. And I think Kemba is probable. He's really cheap on Fanduel, 68. And I like Rubio's only 61 here. He's a really good option. Beverly is probably going to miss, so we got some value there. And I want to see where Monty Morris is only 4,000 here on Fanduel. That's also a pretty good play, but if he's going to get a lot of ownership, you don't need to play him because we've seen him be bad in like spots. I mean, he's been starting the last 3 games, and he finally had a decent game. But even that kind of game isn't going to win you like a tournament. It's not going to kill you if you don't have him. But Trae Young, 10-2 with probably Beverly out. That's like the pest that you would kind of worry with a guy like Trae Young. But he should have a much easier matchup here at home. He's played a lot better at home during his career. At shooting guard, it's like Levine, DeRozan if I'm paying up. If I'm paying down, it's definitely Lou Williams at 63. If he starts here, it's just really cheap on FanDuel, especially. Also, Donovan Mitchell's only 6,200. Also very, very cheap. Those two are really appealing. If they're super popular, I think you still want to try to get at least one of them in there. But depending on, if you want to willing to take some more risks, or if there's some better, there's also so many cheap options at shooting guard that they're not like must plays because you got like don't even mind Dylan Brooks at 56 at least on FanDuel. But you got Buddy Hield at only 5,300. He also has that monster upside. You got Fournier at 52. It's also cheap enough. And that's kind of it. I think there's plenty of options at shooting guard on FanDuel. I think Buddy Hield looks pretty good at 5,300. He's just cheap. He's had a huge game against the Heat, and the minutes should be there. It's a good matchup against the Pistons. They've been terrible defensively as of late, and the matchup is fine here. Probably be matched up against like don't even know who they've been starting. They probably start like Bruce Brown or get some Svi or get some Tony Snell defense. So Hield's going to get open looks, and the minutes should be there as well. Small forwards also seems like a position where I will probably spend down here unless Paul George is in. Then you could go there if he's not going to be limited. But I don't know if I want to pay 11-2 for LeBron against the Knicks. But there's just a lot of cheap options at small forward as well. With Gallinari looks really, really good at 5,900. Also Gordon Hayward if Jaylen Brown misses, even if Brown is in on FanDuel, that's really nice. But really, I love Gallinari on FanDuel. 59 is really cheap, especially if they're missing one or both of their centers. Going to get a ton of minutes, and he's been super productive. At power forward, it's another spot where there's a lot of value that I like, so that's why I'm paying up at point guard. There's a lot of value at shooting guard, small forward, even power forward. I'm going to be paying up at center, most likely. But here we got Bagley at 51, a tremendous play. You also got, if you got Jeremy Grant at only 4,200, a really good play as well. And then you also have Nerlens Noel if Steven Adams misses and he starts. Would also be tough not to play. So it's a spot where I want to pay down. I love Bagley at 5,100. You also got Michael Porter at 53. Can't ignore him. He also has that big-time upside as well. But Bagley, 51, should get the minutes. And if you give him minutes, he's been productive. Just because he plays the center, it's tough not to be a productive center unless you're like Alex Len or somebody like that. But going to get the minutes and should be productive in the matchup. And then at center here, I'm looking at like Jokic. I'm looking at Vucevic. I love DeAndre Ayton on FanDuel at 82. And then Harrell's been awful. 59 could definitely be worth it, though. If you don't want to go Harrell, you can play Zubac. He's also up and down, but could be a good spot for him, especially if they're missing a bunch of players. But DeAndre Ayton, the minutes are key for him. He's going to get a lot of minutes without Baines again. So, yeah, Ayton should get a lot of minutes. Bagley should get a lot of minutes. Gallinari should get a lot if they're missing some of their centers. He got up to 34. That might be his season high in terms of minutes. So you like Gallinari. Trae Young plays a lot, so doing my best to get a lot of guys. I'm not going to be really messing around with any bench players that play like 20, 22 minutes. I feel like there's a lot of ways to go on this slate, and I want to get access to all the guys that have the ability to go off and have the huge upside, and they're priced really nicely, at least on Fanduel. And then Draftkings, same thing. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. You could drop a like if you enjoyed, and good luck tonight.